Well, we've got ZD back up to 44, 44 and a half. Look at MOBX back up 192%. This thing might give us a new high here. It might shoot all the way up. Good morning, Kathleen. Good morning, Vicki. Good morning. Good morning. Good to have everybody here with us. Alabama Mike, depending on where you're at, depending on if you have it saved in your cookies or not, just searching Traveling Trade Adventures should pull it up. If it doesn't, type in the search bar, type in Wolfpack Community. That should take you to the correct page. Got your lucky hat on. Well, this hat is not really the lucky hat. It is the hat that I put on anytime we get 100% runner on a press release. And of course, we had a nice press release this morning on MOBX, Mobix Labs. This stock has shot up over 200% on the press release. Came out at 7:30. So if you were with us at 7:30 on Zoom, you probably would have seen that and knew about it and hopefully got a little piece of it. Kelly Sue, good morning. Eskimos, good morning. So that's what the hat is for. Otherwise, I wouldn't be wearing a hat. But that's what the hat is. That's the we got 100% runner hat. Looking for a big run here on ZD also. Ziff Davis company put out a press release talking about selling off part of their company. ZD. Let me pull up that press release. They signed a definitive agreement to sell their connectivity division to a company called Accenture. And Accenture is paying $1.2 billion in cash for that. And because of that press release that came out at 7 o'clock this morning, that was part of our 7 o'clock press releases, that stock has gone from $27.70 to $44.69. In terms of percentages, it's only up like 43%, but in dollars, it's run up a lot. It's been a really, really good one. A lot of big orders here on MOBX. All eyes are on this stock at the moment. ZD is up 54% now. We might get $50 out of that stock. That would be unbelievable. From 27 to 50. That would be nice. Holy cow, that would be nice. So if you were with the Wolfpack this morning on Zoom, hopefully you got a piece of these. Now you can see the sunlight is starting to come in my window here, and it's giving me a very angelic look. I can tell you that. giving me a very angelic look. Bob says, got a little bit of ZD. Paid for my Wolfpack membership for the next 5 years. That's great, Bob. That is great. We almost hit 45. I'm looking for 50 on ZD. That should be a good one. GXAI starting to push up a little bit. We're trying. It's up to 142. Waiting for Mobex to see if this is going to break over 50 and take a nice big solid run at 60 cents. Boy, that would be unbelievable. Yeah, I got the sunlight is coming through the side window over here. The sun comes up on this side of the house in my office, and the sunlight's coming through the window just a little bit and giving that little bit of glare. But the sun moves pretty quick in the morning, so it'll be gone here in a second. John, good morning. Kimster, good morning. We got super chats on there. I added super chats to YouTube there, but I don't know how that works. Maybe some of you experienced YouTubers can explain to me how that works. GXAI. Well, we've got GXAI here. Rick, expanding beyond AI content tools and into defense technology with a new strategic investment. They bought a 19% stake in a defense tech firm. That's on GXAI. The company announced on Tuesday it acquired 19% stake in America First Defense, or AFD, a U.S.-based defense technology company. That's on GXAI. So we might see some bounce there. It did bounce from $1.11 to $1.42, and then it pulled back a little bit to 128. We'll see where it goes. GXAI. All right. We've got about 6 minutes to go, and we'll get the 8 o'clock press releases. Do you guys see anything different on the chat this morning as far as like super chats or donations or anything that looks different on the chat than normal? Because I'm seeing dollar signs on it, but I'm not sure why. I don't know anything about the super chat thing. $1.99. Vicky Garrett with the what was that, Vicky. Yeah, my Momo screen hasn't moved since 4:30 this morning. So if yours is stuck, so is mine. Vicky, what did you tap to do that? It has a dollar bill on there. Huh. Was it something called Super Chat or just simply donate or what trying to understand it. Growth. Allows viewers to pay to highlight their messages, and sometimes top of live stream to our premier chat, helping creators monetize content and engage with fans. There's a dollar sign on there. Oh, Ry Gable, thank you very much. I'm just trying to understand what it all means. Thank you, Ry. Appreciate it. UFG accelerates global growth with nationwide bunkering in Thailand. Sent a gift. Carrie, good morning. I got it via Google. Don't know anything about it myself. Okay. Yep. Well, I'll learn right along with you. David, good morning. Watching GXAI to see if this gets any volume. MOBX getting slowly pulled back down again. I changed the name, Carrie. I changed the name on the what was Traveling Trade Adventures, and we had Wolfpack Community. We had two different YouTube channels. All I did was change the names on those two. That's all I did. We just changed the names. This is another way for creators to monetize the channel and their fans to donate to the page. All right. Thank you, Ry. Appreciate the help. I'm trying to figure it all out myself. I'm brand new to the whole YouTube experience and all that, and I'm just trying to figure it out. Trying to teach an old dog new tricks. Mobex, the news there was Mobix secures significant U.S. Navy Tomahawk missile component order. So they make one of the components in the Tomahawk missile, and they got a significant order from the U.S. Navy. That's what the news was on MOBX, and it did well. All right, let's see what we've got. UFG accelerates growth with nationwide bunkering. We already knew about that one. How about HTOO Microfloat. Fusion Fuel provides an update on Royal Uranium Royalty Permit. The EIA permit obtained for Laguna Salada Uranium Project. Sounds a bit fluffy, but it is a microfloat, HTOO. How about CGNT says they have authorized a $20 million increase in their share repurchase program. Kust, KUST, Microfloat. Kustom Entertainment's Digital Ally brand secures a multi-year body camera subscription with premier Kansas City-based health systems. Again, seems a bit fluffy, but it's a microfloat, so you got to pay attention to it. KUST. CVU receives follow-on orders totaling $6 million for airborne pods from Raytheon. That's on CVU. VNDA. VNDA. Announces FDA grants a landmark hearing for one of their drugs in jet lag disorder. The first drug approval hearing in over 40 years. Interesting. But it's not doing anything for the stock price. Josie, good morning. What does that mean, Jeff? Kimster, trading with Jeff. Did you change your YouTube? Yes. I don't know, like the Laughing Disco and some of the other things that people are sending. I don't know what those things mean. I'm going to have to learn. I don't know. The Floating Heart. I don't know what those do. I don't know what those do. Arnaz, Microfloat. Arnaz, RNAZ. Secures exclusive worldwide fully paid up royalty-free license to develop and commercialize next generation oncolytic immunotherapy platform in an all-stock transaction, underscoring the company's dedication to improving the lives of cancer patients. That's on RNAZ. It's listed as a microfloat. Yeah, I don't know what a bunch of that stuff means. So, Ted, you're in China this morning? BAER secures a $18 million 5-year contract in Alaska for U.S. Department of the Interior. BAER. $18 million contract, 5-year contract. It's Bridger Aerospace is the company, BAER. 36 million public float. I'm learning. Number 2. Nice. Yeah, I'm learning right there along with you. I don't know what that stuff is. I guess we'll learn together. I tried to enable closed caption. Did it work? Were you able to get closed captions on there? SHFS. Safe Harbor Financial delivers a strong 29% year-over-year growth in emerging U.S. cannabis markets. SHFS. That's about it for 7 or 8 o'clock, rather. Why not? Good morning. Good morning. Well, we didn't get much at 8 o'clock. We didn't get much at all. What else we got moving here? Let's go back to some of the other ones that have been moving. Mobex, let's see where Mobex is at here. Let's look on the 1 minute time frame. Mobex hanging in there, looking for that break of 50 cents. That could really get going after 50 cents. BATL still at 27 bucks. What a nice move on that stock. Holy smokes. SVRN, Ocean Pal, trying to recover. Having a little tough time there, though. Mobex at 48 cents might be getting ready to break through that 50. It might go back. If it breaks that 50, it's got a really good chance of really popping off good. Looking at level 2 here, let's see what level 2's got to say. Level 2, beyond 50 cents. Not terrible. I mean, there's a little bit of resistance, maybe up around 53 cents. Might hit a little wall there. There's a sizable order at 53 cents, but beyond that, there's not much there. So with a good amount of volume, if this thing gets a bunch of attention all of a sudden, this could really bust up past 50 and run up to 60 cents. Pretty easy. I'm not going to hold my breath, but It breaks 50 and it's able to get through that big order at 53. Oh, yeah. I think it hits 60 cents, but that's just me. But like I said, I'm not going to hold my breath because you just never know what the market's going to do. All right. What is these numbers up here? I'm looking at these numbers, trying to figure out what these darn numbers are. Huh. Don't pay attention to the candles, by the way. You're going to see some wild movements up and down on those candles. Don't pay no attention to that. It's just noise. It's just visual noise. Just watch the bid and the ask price. Focus in on that. The current bid, the current ask. That's where the price actually is. Those candles are going to fool you if you follow them. So now, if the current bid and ask are following the movement of the candle, then trust the candle. But 8 o'clock in the morning, that's not usually the case. Hmm. Mobex back to 46. Boy, I want to get this thing over 50 cents. GXAI. Again, this again with the press release, they take a strategic stake in America First Defense, developer advanced drone-based electronic warfare systems. That's on GXAI. Now, we've been watching that one for a while here this morning, and it did run up when the news first hit, but it's been pulled down, and it looks like it's trying to recover here a little bit. Keep an eye on that. If this defense sector is hot today, this one could run. NPT, Texan Holdings trying to move up. Thank you, Rick. BATL, the one we've been watching for the last couple of days here, and absolutely banking on that stock, is now halted. Wonder what that's all about. Must be halted pending some news here. I guess we're going to have to watch very closely why that is halted. They usually halt them in pre-market pending news. So I'm guessing there's probably a press release coming. So we're going to have to keep our head on a swivel Everybody keep your eyes open for a press release on BATL. It's coming. Could be an offering. Could be a new contract. It could be a partnership. It could be anything. So, could be good news or it could be bad news. I will keep my eyes peeled for what's coming on that and try to give it to you as quickly as I can. I'm sure we'll get the news quite a bit ahead of it releasing and starting to trade again. We'll keep our eyes and ears open. Could be an offering. It could be an offering. It could very well be an offering. So if you're in that stock right now, you better pull up a sell ticket and just be ready. Just be ready, because it could be something good. Could be something good. But just in case, be ready, because if it's an offering, it's going to, it probably, more than likely, it's going to tank on an offering. But again, we don't know. So better safe than sorry. All right, let's take a look at TPET. TPET up to $1.84. TPET ran over 200% yesterday for us. 200. That was in pre-market, from pre-market up to where it ran in the day. And then look at what it did this morning. Look at where it was at this morning. Unreal. TPET's been a monster. And look at MOBX, 49.28. We hit 49.79. We're going to break that 50. So you buy jewels to send gifts. 300 jewels is $5. So you buy jewels to send gifts. Okay. I guess I'll have to figure out what the purpose of the gifts are. What anybody gets out of that. We will learn together. NPT. Did you guys go look at that one? Texon Holdings. We've gone from 588 to 807. 49.3 on Mobex. I'm waiting for it to break that 50. Yeah, I don't know how that works, Kimster. I'm curious. So there's a thing where you can send gifts, like where you buy the jewels and then you send a gift with the jewels or whatever. And then there's also the donate thing where you can physically donate money. And it's two separate things. Is that correct? NPT just wicked to 866. Yeah, I don't know how the gifts thing works. I don't know how like when you send like a flower or a whatever it is you can send. I don't know how that works. All right. GXAI. Let's see what pops up here. Not a clue, just excited that they have tickets when we have a runner. Have rockets. Oh, nice. Yeah, they got rockets. So we'll figure it out together. I'll figure out what all those little gifty things mean. And I do appreciate the little donation thing. That's cool too. Appreciate it. Let's look at GXAI. Struggling. Yeah, we've got 8 minutes to go. If you can hang out with us for about 8 minutes, we should have those 8:30 press releases for you. Everybody's Momo still stuck. Mine is. Mine is still stuck. Hasn't moved since 4:31 this morning. No on Momo. ADIL signs it's a micro float. ADIL signs an exclusive AD04 collaboration framework with Molteni Pharmaceutici for Europe, which anticipates nearly $60 million in potential royalties and milestones upon execution of a definitive agreement. That's on ADIL, a microfloat. Yeah, I would think that the person, the creator would get some of that. I would assume if you spend $5 to buy whatever and then you donate that to get gifts or whatever, you'd think that some of that would go to the creator. I'm guessing in some small way. YouTube probably gets about 30%. That's probably about right, which is less than TikTok by a lot. MOBX, we just hit 49.67, waiting for that break of 50. I'm telling you, when this thing breaks 50, I'm going to get excited because I think creator receives 70%. Nice. 49.17. Come on, break 50. What is the holdup here? I don't understand the holdup here at 49. We get into the 49s, and there's not that much for sale in the 49s. There's really not. There's not big, huge, massive orders there. So it's just every time it gets to 49, a bunch of orders in the 48s get thrown in there. People are trying to get out before 50, and I don't quite understand why, because it has such potential to climb so much higher. Finley James, NPT, got it from 723 to 870. Nicely done. Nicely done. Let's look at NPT. Look at that big wick up to $9.30. How many of you were on that? $5.90 to $9.30. Ooh. That was sweet. ZD hanging in there at 45 bucks. Still waiting for 50. Still waiting to see if that hits 50. I wish I could see your guys' screen on your end of it, see what it looks like, how different it looks than mine. Somebody take a screenshot, send it to me. I want to see what your screen looks like. Rich, NPT, 750 to 888. Nicely done, Rich. Beautiful trade. Come on, Mobex. Jalou got ZD from $42.70 to $44.90. Nicely done. Scalped a couple of dollars a share off of that one. YouTube gets 30%. I'm new here. What app do I use to see it? To see what? What is it you're wanting to see? That might be a loaded question. I probably shouldn't have asked that. Not on YouTube. GXAI sitting at 125. ZD floating at 45. Well, you're not going to be able to see my screen on YouTube. If you're on Zoom with us, we're having a Zoom meeting right now as we speak, and you can see it on Zoom, but not on YouTube. But we've got 8 seconds, and we'll give you the 8:30 press releases. All right, let's see what pops up at 8:30. VS extends Texas Rangers partnership, debuting the next generation of the company's innovative filter fan camera. That's on VS. UOKA secures an aggregate $8.5 million in public offerings to support global animation and cultural development. UOKA. We talked about that one yesterday. I've got movement on BATL, but I'm still showing the bid and ask at 0. Anybody else? I'm showing price movement. You guys can see my chart here. GWH announced agreement to join Salt River Project and Google Long Duration Energy Storage collaboration. GWH. They threw Google's name in there. Announced a collaboration framework with the Salt River Project and Google for what they call the Project New Horizon to advance long-duration energy storage innovation. It's in Florence, Arizona. So they've thrown that Google name around in there, so that should generate a little bit of interest from retail traders. Thank you, Kathy. All right. Yeah, I was just getting some price movement here on, I understand that BATL is halted. I get it. I'm not confused about that. I was just mentioning that I'm getting some price movement. You can see I've got the price down here at $18.65. There's been some price movement. While it was halted, the price was moving around a little bit, and even level 2 was moving around a little bit. Because it was up here in that $27 range, and now it's down around $18.65. So the price, the market makers are moving that price around a little bit. So I don't know what the news is coming, but I don't know. We'll see. Mobix, we just broke 50. Beautifully done. 51.71. $51.7. 73. Come on, baby. 52. Come on, let's hit 52 on that ask. We had a high before of 53.74. We just hit 52.5. We're really close to creating a new high here. Let's see if this thing can take off running again for us. Let's take a look at that GWH. So it got a little climb on the news initially on GWH. It popped from $1.54 to $2.13 pretty quick. And now it's pulling back. So we'll see where it ends up. BATL, here is the news. To raise approximately $15 million, it has a definitive agreement, $15 million at a price of $5.50 a share. An offering at $5.50 a share. They want to raise $15 million. Where's the shorts? We're sitting at $27. They just did an offering at $5.50. Where's Bob at for that short? So I can only imagine. You guys tell me if you disagree, but I think when they release that, it's going to drop like a tank in a pool. Anybody else think that it won't drop? Does anybody think it won't drop when they release it? And I mean drop a lot, like significantly drop. Does anybody think it'll hold on and drop maybe $2 or $3 and then work its way back up again? Bob, are you thinking about shorting that one? BATL? Are there any shares available on BATL? Couldn't get any shares. Oh, that's not good. That means there's a lot of shorts in there. Oh my. This is going to be interesting, to say the least. Watch out below. Vicki, you have a great day. Right now, the price is, I'm showing it at 18 bucks. The offering's at 5.50. It's gone from 27.50. It's going to be interesting to see just how far that drops. Somebody shorting this is going to make a fortune. I guess that's the next question. How far down do you think it'll go? What are you guys guessing? They're selling, they want to raise $15 million and they're selling the shares at $5.50 a piece. It was just sitting at 27 bucks when they halted it. I'm talking about BATL, Jalou. It was at 27.50 when they halted it. Offerings at 5.50. The question is, how far do you think it'll drop? You think it drops down to that 5.50 area and lower? Or do you think it drops 10, 12 bucks down to 10 or 12 bucks and then slowly works its way back up again? Yeah, I don't know what the math is. What's the math on that? So that'd be about 3 million shares, right? A little less than 3 million shares. So it's not a huge offering. It's not a huge offering, just under 3 million shares. So it's not a big one, but the price is significantly lower than where it currently is. So we'll see. We'll just have to see how far it drops. I think it's going to drop significantly. But that's just my personal opinion. I think it'll drop. If I had to take a wild stab at it, I would guess that it'd probably drop under $10. I don't know where under 10, but I think it'll drop under 10. I think it'll drop to 10. We'll see. Could it do something crazy? That's another question. Could this do something really, really crazy? And when they release it, it actually goes up in price and goes above 27 bucks. Could it do something completely opposite of what everybody thinks it's going to do? Could it do that? That's a really good question. Something to think about. It could completely destroy a bunch of short sellers. So I don't know. Do we have a release time on it? Anybody got a release time on BATL by chance? GWH could be a good dip here. Starting to climb back up. So it's starting to crawl. We've got 3 little green candles forming here. Could be first signs of a reversal. Could run back up over $2 again. Do we have a release time? Prop. Let's see what we got here. PPCB. PPCB. Propanc Biopharma lead asset RPRP shows an 85% tumor growth inhibition in preclinical pancreatic models. Pancreatic cancer is one of the deadliest cancers with a 5-year survival rate. At just 13%, and no real progress has been made in recent years. To put that into perspective, overall cancer survival is 70%. Take a look at that one. PPCB, Papa, Charlie, Bravo. For all my military brothers and sisters. Oh. Well, I am waiting for an epic crash on BATL. I hope it doesn't, because I know there's a lot of people in that. And that's from the heart. I really hope this doesn't crash too much. There was a lot of people playing this stock this morning. A lot. There was a lot of buyers between $24 and $27. There was a lot of people buying this stock, and they're stuck in it right now. So I hope it doesn't flash crash and just destroy a few people's accounts, because it could very easily. I hope it doesn't do that. I really hope it doesn't do that. I hope it does something completely opposite of what we think it's going to do and take off running. But usually on offerings like that, especially when they're that significantly lower than the current price, they usually do drop. I think we could all agree on that. That's kind of what they do on offerings. But we'll see. Maybe we can get a release time on this thing. Webull feed saying 9 a.m. for resumption time. Okay. Well, that means about 10 minutes. Just a little over 10 minutes. I hope it does okay. Look at NPT. How many of you went and looked at NPT when it got mentioned? We just wicked up to $10.36 from $5.87. Damn near 100% on that dang thing. Steve, you have a great day. Just a little bit further, we might get 100% out of that. That's very possible. Just needs a little bit more juice. It needs to break that 1050. We hit 1042. If we can break that 1050, we might get that 100% out of that. Momo's still frozen. Well, maybe it'll kick on about midday like it did yesterday. Oh my gosh. What a great morning. I hope you guys didn't have too much trouble finding me this morning on YouTube. I switched the names on the channel, so I hope that didn't throw too many people off. Probably did. There's probably some people out there right now scratching their heads going, where is he? He's normally on and he's not on. What's going on? But I had two different YouTube channels. I had the Wolfpack Community channel that I've had for years and years. And then I had the new one, which was the Traveling Trade Adventures. They're both still there. All I did was change the names, exchanged the names. That's all I did. They're both still there, but I changed the names on them. So when you look up one, you might get the other one thinking it could be confusing, but it'll get straightened out in the next day or two. Everybody will get back on board again. But if you follow both channels, then you don't have any troubles. PPCB, I think that's pretty good news too. John, I'm with you on that. I like the news on PPCB. NPT, you think it's got 13 in the tank? I don't know. It's pulling back pretty aggressively here. You got Rick Scott, you got in at 222.4. Can't fault you for that entry, Scott. 22.4. I see what you did on 22.4. On that news, that's an important caveat to remember. On that particular news, that was really good news. I can see getting in. I would have made that same entry myself. I wouldn't look at that entry and say, "What in the world were you doing? Why would you do that?" Because I would have done the same thing. I would have done the same thing on that. But like you said, you cut it already. The secret there, cut them quick and not let them catch up with you. Don't let them blow up your account. Cut them quick. I'm looking to see what it is here. It's a lead asset. It's a novel therapeutic approach to the treatment and prevention of metastatic cancer. Yeah, it's preclinical. Preclinical data. Preclinical data shows 85% tumor growth inhibition in pancreatic models. I mean, that's a significant number. Reduced fibrosis, resistance markers, and gentler profile. No major side effects in limited prior human use. So they have this. This has been tested on humans. A small compassionate study. Rectal version. I don't want to know. Extended survival from 5.6 to 9 months in advanced cases. So this has been, I'm going to have to do some more research, but it says preclinical data, but it also talks about in human studies. So I'll have to do a little bit more research to know exactly where they're at with this. I got my normal notice, but I will follow both. All right, cool. I'm glad you got notified. Whew. And thank you for the donations. And thank you for hitting the subscribe button. I appreciate that a lot. Really do. Okay, so let's go here to BATL. How bad's it going to get? Supposed to release at 9 o'clock, we think. BATL, looking for the crash. Could be ugly. Could be below $10 when it's all said and done. We shall see. Keep your hands and feet inside the ride at all times. We are not responsible for any lost or stolen items. Here we go. 9 o'clock. I don't see it moving. Let's see what press releases we do get. DUOT, green sources, participating in upcoming investors conference, secure screen, expand services in the Tampa, Rex, enterprise, secure screen. Jag JAGX, JAGX secures additional $3 million payment from FuturePak for the Mytesi and Canalevia. Jaguar received an upfront payment of $16 million of non-dilutive capital. Well, that's good. And they received an additional $3 million. TREX, Trex Company, announces a $100 million accelerated share repurchase program. UPLD reporting fourth quarter financials. MDIA, nothing there. GNX, class action lawsuit, class action lawsuit, class action lawsuit. A lot of class action lawsuits popping up. Eskimos, you have a great day. I'll be on again tomorrow at 7:45 Eastern Time, a.m. No, I wouldn't. I don't ever try to average down just for the sake of averaging down. If I average down, it's not because I'm trying, not with the goal of purposely pulling my average down. If I'm buying as it's dropping, it's because I honestly, in my heart of hearts, believe that stock is going to move up. And all I'm doing is trying to add some cheapies for when it does take off. But as far as buying to average down, to try to get my average down just so in case it gets a little pop, I can get out even, that's not a good idea. That's not good trading advice. Averaging down just for the sake of averaging down is, you know, the saying, you're throwing good money at bad money. And that's not a good plan. So I would never recommend anybody averaging down just for the sole purpose of pulling your average down. It works out sometimes. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes averaging down and you pull your average down, it does get that nice little bump up and it can go back up to where your average is, and maybe even up above your average a little bit where you can sell for a gain. That does happen, but it's not a good practice. It's not a good practice to get into because it works out less times than what it just doesn't work out for you. So it'd be really bad advice to give anybody. MOBX hanging in there. That's really good news. So let's hope that one continues to hang in there. I'm curious about BATL. We don't have any new news on that. Hollywood, thanks. You're very welcome. I don't think you will ever find a professional trader, Wall Street or any place else, that would ever tell you averaging down is a good idea and that it's a smart move. I don't think you'll never see anybody worth their salt in trading ever tell you to do that. If somebody's telling you to average down and it's a good idea, that's really bad advice. All right. GWH trying to curl up a little bit. So cut your losses and lick your wounds and move on. Absolutely. Think of your trading this way. Simplify it. And I'm going to simplify this. And there's some of you may be screaming at the top of your lungs saying, no, 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 that's not good advice. But all I'm doing here is taking a complicated subject and simplifying it to the simplest of terms. Think of it this way. You get in, it either goes up or it goes down after you get in. You get in. If it goes up, you leave it alone. You lock in your profit. If you get in and it drops when you get in, you sell it immediately, get out, and you chalk it up to a bad entry. I got in at $1. It dropped to 98 right away. I'm out. I'll take that 2-penny loss. Now, you can sit and wait and wait and wait. Let it see if it's going to bounce back up over $1. You can do that all you want. And there's nothing wrong with that. But think of your trading in a very simplistic way. I got in and it either went up after I got in or it went down. If it went up when I got in, I got a good entry. If I got in and it went down, guess what? I got a bad entry. So what do we do with bad entries? We get rid of them. We cut them quick. You get in, it drops, you get out, say, damn it, I got a bad entry. It went down as soon as I got in. I'm out. I'll take the penny loss. I'll take the 3-penny loss, the 5-penny loss, whatever it is. You get out and try again. If you want to try again at another point, that's fine. But when it comes to trading, you have two options. You have a good entry or you have a bad entry, right? I mean, to break it down in a very simplistic way, you have a good entry or you have a bad entry. One of the two. And you'll know almost immediately when you get in which it is. I got in and it went up. Hey, I'm doing pretty good. You got in, it went down. Guess what? Bad entry. And you cut it. You cut it as quickly as you can cut it. You cut it and just say, bad entry. I'll try again on something else. Maybe the next one I'll have a good entry. But the idea there is you cut the losses quick. You get in, if it drops, you get out and say, that was bad. That was bad, bad, bad. My bad. I shouldn't have done that. That was a bad spot to get in, and I shouldn't have done it. So that's just a very simplistic way to think of it. You got in, and it either went up or it went down. If it went up, you sell, you take your profit. If it went down, you drop it like hotcakes. So there's a lot more to it than that. I understand that. I'm just cutting it down to its most simplistic terms. You get into a position, you either got a good one or a bad one. Your entry was either good or bad. And you'll know pretty damn quick, won't you? As soon as you get in, you kind of know. Because you either get in and it keeps going, or you get in and it drops. Cut it. Yes, Momo is working finally, huh? Nice. T-Pet. Darn good. You have a great, great day. Kevin, you're absolutely right. It's human nature. We don't want to lose money. It's human nature to want to hold. You want to hold because you just don't want to let go of money that easily. I clicked a button, and because I clicked the button at the moment that I did, it cost me to lose 20 bucks. That's a hard thing for your brain to wrap around. A click of a button cost me 20 bucks. And you don't want that to happen. You don't want to accept that just a click of a button can lose 20 bucks like that. And so our minds are telling us, well, don't sell it. You won't lose the 20 bucks. Just hold on a little bit longer. It'll bounce back up, and then you won't have to lose $20 on a click of a button. And so we hold. And what happens when we hold? It just keeps dropping and dropping and dropping. Now we're down $75 or $100. And now our brain is telling us, well, you can't let go now. You can't. You're down too far. If you let go now, you're down $100 or $200. You can't let go. I guess now you're just going to have to hold and hold and hold for days and weeks and months until it finally goes back up, and then you can sell and either break even or make a little money, but now you're stuck with it. That's where your mind goes. And that's not how it should be. If you've ever gotten to a point where you've looked at a stock that you're in and you've looked at your profit and loss and you're in a loss, you're holding the bag. If you've ever gotten it to the point where you've looked at it and went, well, I can't sell it now. I'm down too far. How many of you gotten there? How many of you have ever said that to yourself? I can't let go now. It's down too far. If you've gotten yourself to that point where you've said that to yourself, you've held way too long. You should never hold it until it gets to that point. It should have been cut a long time ago. And I know it's hard. I know it's hard. It's so difficult to let go. It's so difficult to let go, but it should never get down that far where you have to hold it, where you feel like I can't let go now because if I do, I'm going to lose too much money. Well, you know, I want to stand next to you and knock on your head and say, is there anybody in there? Why would you hold it to a point where now you can't let go because you're afraid you're going to lose too much money? You shouldn't have let it drop that far to begin with. Easier said than done, right? Much easier said than done. It's really, really hard to let go. But you got to think of it this way. What's easier? Is it easier to let the stock, if you got in at $1 and it drops to 98 cents, losing those 2 pennies, is that easy versus letting it drop to 50 cents? And now you got to let go? Which one's easier to let go? The 2 penny loss or the 50 cent loss? Well, it's obvious. The 2 penny loss is easy to let go. I mean, you can let go of a 2 penny loss, you know, and it's no big deal. But you don't do it. And the question is, why? It's easy to let go of a 2 penny loss. I can let go of something on a 2 penny loss or a 3 penny loss or even a 5 penny loss. And I can make that back on my very next trade. I can get back everything I lost plus some on the very next trade because I only lost 2 pennies or 5 pennies. But if I lose 75 cents or $1.25 on a single trade, that's hard to get back. That might take me 2 or 3 days or a month to earn back what I lost on that one trade. And again, it's thinking financially. You got to protect your account. It's just a matter of saying, being strategic about it and saying, okay, I can lose 2 pennies because I can gain that back quick. I can lose a penny here because I can gain that back quick. I can lose 5 cents here because I can gain that back really, really quick. Thinking of it like that. Take the 2 penny loss, take the 3 penny loss, because I'll get it back and then some. But if I take a huge loss, I might get it back, but it's going to take me a while. And so I'm going to spend 3 days, a week, maybe a month of getting wins, but I'm not really getting ahead. I got a win on this stock. I got a win on this stock. I got green on this stock, and I got green on this stock, but I'm still overall in the red. Damn it. I can't seem to get ahead. All the greens that you're getting, you're just trying to make up for that one big red that you took. And finally, after a month of green, 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 you're finally back to even again because you made back all that money you lost. And you finally breathe and go, oh, I'm back to even again. But then what does your mind do? You start thinking about all that green that you made to get there. And you think, you know what? If I hadn't had to make up for that huge loss that I took 3 weeks ago, and I had taken just a little tiny loss, all of these green trades that I've done in the last month would have been to the upside. I would have been profiting on all of those trades. My account would be so much further ahead right now if I would have just taken that little loss. So just think of it in those terms and cut them son of a guns. If you get in and it goes down, get the hell out. Yeah, you think what if will kill you. It will get you. What ifs will tear your account up. T-Pet trying for 2. It's trying. I want to know when BATL is going to release. What do you think? Is it going to be 9:30 here? Happy birthday to me, like putting a candy bar in a window and watching it melt away. Yeah, it's very true. You can't hold on to those losers, man. You can take a couple of $1,000 loss on something, and how long does it take you to get that back? It takes forever. So cut them quick. You're very welcome. Sometimes it's just something people need to hear. BATL has been released. It just popped up. It's moving on my chart. I've got it up on the screen right now. God, I hope this thing does not crash. I hope it doesn't crash because I know there's a lot of people in this. Oh, I hope it doesn't crash. I pray that it doesn't crash. There were so many retail traders in this stock. Up here at 25, 26, $27. And if this thing crashes, they are going to be in a world of hurt. So I hope and pray that it climbs right back up again. Oh, man. Happy birthday to me. Kimster, is it your birthday? Well, I got to tell you, it's holding up better than I thought it would. Anybody else feel like it's holding on better than expected? Oh, what a blessing. What an absolute blessing if this goes back up. Kimster's birthday, is your birthday today, Kimster? Three. I'll be done. Well, happy birthday. Kimster is having a birthday today. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Gosh, I hope this goes back up. It's really holding on better than I thought it would. I thought for sure this thing was crashing all the way down to like $10. On an offering at 550, I thought for sure it was coming down. And it's holding up pretty good here. You got your gift from BATL. Awesome. How many of you are kind of surprised with BATL? I'm a little shocked. I thought that offering would scare people to death and the panic selling would be insane. Oh, I guess we'll see what Wall Street wants to do with it at 9:30 and see if they're going to push it up or down. I thought for sure it was going to crash. A $27 stock doing a $5.50 offering. Again, it's a small offering. It was less than 3 million shares. So it was diluted, but not much. I mean, it wasn't a huge dilution. I'm surprised. Did anybody take the dip? That's what I'm curious. Did anybody buy that dip down around 20 to $21? You're brilliant if you did. I did not. But if you did, you are brilliant. That was a lucky guess if you did. It's back to $25. I make the free rounds today. You mean like the restaurants? $25.88. Not what I was expecting. $26. Who took the dip? Just one of you, please. Just one of you tell me you took a dip and just made $6 profit on it. Unbelievable. I threw that question out earlier. What if it did exactly the opposite of what we think it's going to do, and it actually climbs up? JR got it from 21 to 24.20. Beautifully done, JR. Oh my gosh. Beautiful play on that one. Beautifully played. Starbucks, Crumble, Jersey Mike's, etc. There you go. Get all the free stuff for your birthday. Beautifully done. I am truly shocked that it dropped to $20 and went all the way back to 26.7. Who'd have thunk it? Who'd have guessed that on that big of a offering? That pricing of an offering. We'll see what the market makers do with it here at 9:30 and see if they push it down significantly, or if they're going to hold it up and run it right back up to $27. Boy, look at the red on my list. Ooh. All these press releases that are coming out are, most of them are class action lawsuits. Let me show you what I got on here. Look at this. These are the press releases. You can see them here. Look at all the red. There's one green ticker in there. Everything else is red. Look at all that red. Little bit of green there. Little bit of green there. And this goes back to 9 o'clock. These press releases from here down, this is all 9 o'clock. And look at the red. Everything's looking pretty pathetic there. Looking pretty sad. All right. Well, what is... Kimster, you have a great day. Here it is, 9:30. What's the prediction? Is it going to tank and drop and just fall apart? Or is market makers going to hold it up? We shall find out. We shall see. All right. Well, I guess that's it for me. You guys have an amazing day. Stay out of trouble. I'm going to watch BATL on my phone, see just how far it drops before they pick it back up again. So have a good day. I'll see everybody tomorrow morning. I'll see the Wolfpack here on Zoom at 4 o'clock this afternoon, as always. And Traveling Trade Adventures, I will see you guys at 7:45 tomorrow morning. So until then, God bless. Keep them green. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.